Coming soon on AMC.
Boy, there's nothing like you in a tractor business.
Thanks.
Well, who the hell did you expect? Goldilocks?
I was hired by a man who believes he has the right to know all there is to know about a prospective bride.
You and your client sound as if you deserve each other.
Are you crazy?
Tell me, in all the books you've read, was there anything about a man like me?
Let go of me. Stop!
Oh, Matt.
When a man loves a woman with a desperate kind of love.
I have found somebody who loves me, and I'm going to have that before I die.
The kind that won't let him breathe without her. He'll do anything to possess her.
Now we can have everything in life, and have it together, as man and wife.
Even if he destroys himself. Laurence Olivier and Jennifer Jones' duel against fate in Carrie. Premiering Sunday, January 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern on AMC. Next on AMC, Gary Cooper stars as a rodeo rider who lassos the heart of a wealthy socialite in the charming comedy The Cowboy and the Lady, co-starring Merle Oberon. Next on AMC.
AMC proudly salutes its nominees for this year's Cable Ace Awards.
Hi, I'm Bob Dorian, and I'm here at the foot of the George Washington Bridge.
If you don't have a sense of humor, you can't survive in a city.
Don't miss the 14th annual Cable Ace Awards ceremony. Telecast live Sunday, January 17th on Lifetime.
Hello, this is Bob Dorian, reminding you to join me tonight on AMC when Barbara Stanwyck stars in Stella Dallas as a mother who makes the ultimate sacrifice for her child. Then AMC's Police Beat Festival continues with Crossfire. Features Robert Ryan, Robert Mitchum, and Robert Young. That's three Roberts. And finally, Laurence Olivier stars in Clouds Over Europe, a clever spy spoof of wartime spy movies. I'll be here, and I hope you will be too, tonight only on AMC.
You think maybe little fella can run?
Sure he can run. He's going to be the greatest racehorse in the world.
Roddy McDowell stars in the saga of a boy with a dream.
But he isn't like other colts.
I'll say he isn't.
And an untamed horse that would not be broken.
Get down!
Sounds more like a legend than a real horse.
Bringing into the back stretch.
You jackrabbit!
Thunderhead, Son of Flicka. Saturday on AMC.
He is here already. That gun will bring him.
The Winchester 73, a perfect way to settle an old score.
That's Dutch Henry Brown. I thought you said you didn't know him.
I said I didn't recall the name.
Jimmy Stewart, Stephen McNally, and Shelley Winters
Just never know when a girl might need a bullet.
in the gunslinging Western classic Winchester 73, Wednesday on AMC.
Give me land, lots of land.
Presenting an American legend, an all-American hero, Roy Rogers, the man who did more for the American Western than any other Palomino-riding, gun-slinging, romance-singing cowboy.
He was a rootin', tootin', six-gun shooting, ring-tail buckaroo.
Now, American Movie Classics and Republic Pictures are proud to present a special collector's edition of Roy's finest full-length motion pictures, uncut and never before released on home video.
Thank you, dear Mr. Rogers. You saved my life.
This very special Roy Rogers collection includes the classics Don't Fence Me In, Lights of Old Santa Fe, San Fernando Valley, and Roy's own personal favorite,
You're kind of quick on the trigger, son.
My Pal Trigger.
What are you going to name him, Roy? I just did.
Featuring his co-star and wife, the beautiful Dale Evans, that sassy sidekick Gabby Hayes, and Roy's faithful musical companions, the Sons of the Pioneers. Order this special collection for only $59.95 by calling 1-800-530-8610 and receive these beautiful reproductions of the original lobby cards. And if you call now, you'll also receive AMC's exclusive one-hour original special, Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys, a fascinating documentary that provides an intimate look at the life and work of this legendary star.
Seems like only yesterday.
I know.
And Roy Rogers of that year is the same one sitting here. I still feel the same way.
The Roy Rogers Collection, complete with this handsomely packaged display case to hold all 5 cassettes, is available by special offer exclusively to AMC viewers and their families. The Roy Rogers Collection, only $59.95. Call now and use your Visa or MasterCard.
Coming up next on AMC.
We're going to find the captain.
What for?
Because where I come from, when a man feels about a girl the way I feel about you, they get married.
I'm married, Father. I met him last week at a rodeo.
He's a cowboy.
A cowboy?
What's the matter with the cowboy?
I'd arranged to have the marriage annulled quietly.
Are you married?
Why, yes. I'm married to a lady's maid. She supports a father and 4 sisters.
You should cling to a girl like that, shouldn't you, Mary?
I don't think so. You see, she turned out to be a fake. Never supported anybody in her life. Turned out that she was too good for me. Couldn't stand for me to meet her friends. On account of me being a cowhand, I guess.
Next on AMC, Gary Cooper stars as a rodeo rider who lassos the heart of a wealthy socialite in the charming comedy The Cowboy and the Lady, co-starring Merle Oberon. Next on AMC. Next, on American Movie Classics, a school teacher is called in to solve a puzzling crime when the police drop out in Murder on the Blackboard. Next, on American Movie Classics. Do you remember these jukebox classics?
Stormy weather.
Don't you wish you had your favorite 40s music in one collection?
I can get all the songs I want.
Yes, you can with AMC's Big Band Blast, a 24-hour non-stop selection of big band movies featuring the kings of swing. You'll hear Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, Tommy Dorsey, Harry James. Over 100 of the most memorable 40s tunes. So if you're tired of those lifeless songs, tune to AMC's Big Band Blast, Sunday, January 31st, beginning at 6 a.m. Eastern, all day and all night, only on AMC.
Upstairs, quick. Eddie, quick.
The Little Foxes was made in 1941 and earned 9 Academy Award nominations. It's probably the best film that's ever been made to settle a gambling debt. Bette Davis was under contract to Warner Brothers when Samuel Goldwyn decided he wanted to make a film version of Lillian Hellman's 1939 Broadway hit about greed in the Deep South.
It would seem if you put up a third, you'd get a third. And yet again, there's no law about it, is there? I should think if you knew your money was badly needed, you might just say, I want more. I want a larger share.
Director William Wyler thought that his ex-lover, Bette Davis, was the only one who could play the ruthless Regina Hubbard, but Warner Brothers had never loaned her out to another studio. Goldwyn asked Jack Warner for Davis and was turned down, but then Goldwyn reminded Warner of a $425,000 gambling debt he owed him. He said he'd settle it for $250,000 and Bette Davis.
Oscar, you should know me well enough by now to know I don't ask for things I don't think I can get.
Davis played Regina as a stern schemer. She and her unethical brothers became partners to build a cotton mill operated with cheap labor. But when her scrupulous banker husband refused to go along, they were willing to borrow his negotiable bonds to finance their share of the deal.
We're not going to begin till September. That gives us 5 months. We'll return the bonds in 3 months. We'll have no trouble raising the money once the mills start going up. Will Marshall accept bonds? Why not? We're lucky, Oscar. We'll take the loan from Leo's friend. I think he'll make a safer partner than our sister.
Wyler and Davis battled endlessly on the set while The Little Foxes was being made. Wyler wanted Regina to be softer and more sympathetic. Davis was convinced, and she was right, that Regina should be a monster from start to finish.
I'm smiling, Ben. I'm smiling because you are perfectly safe while Horace lives to say he lent you the bonds. But Dr. Sloan doesn't think Horace is going to live. And if he doesn't, I want 75% of the business in exchange for the bonds.
Wyler and his cinematographer, Greg Tolan, experimented with deep focus in this movie. Look how it was used in the famous scene where cold, calculating Bette Davis allows her invalid husband, Herbert Marshall, to die on the stairs, trying to get to his heart medicine.
Eddie, Cal, come here.
In the end, Regina loses her husband, her brothers, and her daughter. She's won the battle for money, but lost what really mattered, her family.
Would you like to talk with me, Alexandra? Would you like to sleep in my room tonight. Why, Mama? Are you afraid?
Bette Davis's performance is riveting. It still stands up today. The Little Foxes gave her her 5th of her 10 nominations for Best Actress. This was Bette Davis at the top of her form in a movie that remains a classic. I'm David Mannweiler for American Movie Classics.
When a man loves a woman with a desperate kind of love,
I have found somebody who loves me, and I'm going to have that before I die.
the kind that won't let him breathe without her, he'll do anything to possess her,
Now we can have everything in life and have it together as man and wife.
even if he destroys himself. Laurence Olivier and Jennifer Jones' duel against fate in Carrie. Premiering Sunday, January 17th at 5 p.m. Eastern on AMC.
Hello, this is Bob Dorian, reminding you to join me tonight on AMC when Barbara Stanwyck stars in Stella Dallas as a mother who makes the ultimate sacrifice for her child. Then AMC's Police Beat Festival continues with Crossfire. Features Robert Ryan, Robert Mitchum, and Robert Young. That's 3 Roberts. And finally, Laurence Olivier stars in Clouds Over Europe, a clever spy spoof of wartime spy movies. I'll be here, and I hope you will be too, tonight only on AMC.
Mrs. Murchison, this is my husband.
Liberty is sweet. Once you're married, it's just like being in jail. How do you, Miss Price?
How dare you speak to a respectable woman? He leered at me. Gave me an evil wink.
No. Yes.
I wouldn't ride the same carriage with that dame for all the money in the world.
W.C. Fields stars in the uproarious comedy You're Telling Me.
And you're all invited.
Wednesday on AMC. Coming soon on AMC.
Once upon a time, there was a very, very good little girl who went a-riding on a train for half fare. Now, the big bad conductor wasn't so sure she was so very, very little. There was also some doubt whether she was so very, very good.
Say, kid, when you smoke, do you inhale? Let's see that handkerchief.
And so, this not so very, very good little girl, who was really Ginger Rogers in disguise, fled into the compartment of a handsome young major named Ray Milland, who invited her to stay for the night.
You're very kind, but, well, my mother told me that, well, you see, you are a strange gentleman.
Yes, well, we can soon fix that.
Came the dawn, and who should come aboard the train but the handsome young major's fiancée?
Oh! Quiet, the conductor's not supposed to know.
Nor, I imagine, am I.
You know, Susu, when I look at you with just my bum eye, you look almost grown up, not a child anymore. Susu, you're a knockout.
You don't love him. Leave that to me. Just pack your things and go. Taking good care that nobody sees you crossing the campus. That's a rather foolish costume for a child of 12.
You should be very glad I'm not 12. I was a very straightforward child. I used to spit.
Susu, you're a very peculiar child.
You bet I am.
Coming soon on AMC.
Just face the music, you'll make a whirling, hurling, hurling, not a care will dare to stay. The drums are drumming, you should be humming. Joy is coming, coming for to make you gay. So blow the trumpet, bang the cymbal, and the doctor play. Music, happy day.
Can you imagine? Dean and Jerry cutting capers with the cute little chicks in an all-girls school.
But if you think you're ever too young for loving and laughing, look at Jerry masquerading as a little boy. You see, everybody thinks he's just a crazy, mixed-up 10-year-old, including the public enemy who has him worried to death, and the gorgeous schoolmarm who teaches him the facts of life.
Hello, Bob.
Hello. Look, you stick to the little ones. The big ones are mine.
Song hits by the score, like this catchy love ditty Dean croons to Diana Lynn.
I know your mother loves you, your father loves you too.
And talk about laughs, this time Jerry really tops himself.
We all sit around the campfire.
Campfire. Was I too loud?
No, that wasn't bad at all.
Thank you.
Wilbur! Stop him, he's a crook!
I got him. He's taking it away. Don't worry. I got him now. I got him. Oh, I can't
Step on up and meet Walter Mitty,
He's such a quiet boy.
flying ace,
It's Walter Mitty. I'm a lost man.
valiant sea captain,
You're very brave.
Thank you.
Western desperado.
This wasn't a daydream.
Danny Kaye stars as a daydreamer caught in a real-life adventure. Boris Karloff and Virginia Mayo co-star in James Thurber's The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, premiering Sunday, February 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern on AMC.
And now a Hollywood Minute from the pages of American Movie Classics magazine. A look at Neil Simon's New York. Perhaps there is no one better at capturing the Big Apple on paper than Neil Simon. Born and raised in New York, Simon drew on his personal experiences and knowledge of the city as inspiration for some of his funniest stories. The award-winning Barefoot in the Park came about while he, his wife, and dog sat in Washington Square Park at 3 o'clock in the morning. And the comic nightmare of Jack Lemmon and Sandy Dennis and the Out-of-Towners could have only been realized by a native New Yorker. Capturing the good, the bad, and the excitement of the city is Simon's specialty. Look for Neil Simon's classic comedies on AMC. And for more information on Hollywood and the stars, write for American Movie Classics magazine. Send $11.95 to P.O. Box 2065, Marion, Ohio 43305, or call 1-800-535-7700 to order with your Visa or MasterCard. American Movie Classics magazine, the magazine of classic Hollywood.